The factory floor had never been quiet. Yet on that bright spring morning, the loud machine suddenly seemed to disappear behind one unexpected sentence. Every pair of eyes turned toward the hardworking single father, standing beside the assembly line. His tired face carried the same calm expression it had worn for years, but this time there was something different in his voice. He simply said that he needed to leave work early because he had a date. Within seconds, whispers spread across the building. Some laughed. Some doubted him. Others looked toward the office window where the factory manager stood frozen, staring through the glass before silently walking outside and lighting a cigarette. No one understood why those simple words had shaken him so deeply. Before we continue, if you believe everyone deserves a second chance in life and love, please like this video, leave a comment sharing where you're watching from, share it with someone who believes in hope, and subscribe to HeartofResham for more emotional stories that touch the heart. 36-year-old Rowan Ellis had not always looked so exhausted. Years earlier, he had been the happiest man in town, working honestly, raising dreams alongside the woman he loved, and preparing for a future filled with laughter. Everything changed one rainy afternoon when a terrible highway accident stole his wife away forever, leaving him alone with their 5-year-old daughter, Ivy. Grief arrived like a storm that refused to leave. Bills piled up, friends slowly disappeared, and every morning, Rowan forced himself out of bed because one little girl still depended on him. He became both father and mother, learning how to braid hair after watching online videos, packing school lunches before sunrise, and pretending to smile even when loneliness followed him everywhere. The manufacturing plant became his second home. He accepted every overtime shift available because every extra dollar meant better food on the table or another storybook for Ivy. His co-workers respected his dedication, but many quietly pitied him. Rowan never complained. He believed pain did not become lighter by talking about it. Instead, he carried it like invisible weight on his shoulders, while greeting everyone with kindness. The factory manager, Damien Cross, noticed everything. Damien had built his reputation on discipline and results. Employees feared disappointing him because he expected perfection from everyone. Yet behind that cold personality lived a man haunted by his own regrets. Years earlier, he had lost someone important because work always came first. Since then, he buried every emotion beneath endless schedules and impossible expectations. Watching Rowan leave exactly on time every evening to pick up his daughter irritated him. Damien convinced himself that commitment to family made employees weaker, while dedication to work made them successful. One sunny Tuesday, Rowan received an unexpected phone call during his lunch break. The call came from Eleanor Brooks, a librarian who had known Ivy through weekend reading programs. Over the past several months, she had quietly helped Ivy discover confidence after losing her mother. Eleanor admired Rowan's gentle patience, and after many conversations outside the library, she gathered enough courage to invite him for coffee after work. It would be their first time spending even an hour together without discussing books or parenting. Rowan hesitated. It had been 7 years since he had considered calling anything a date. The word itself felt unfamiliar, almost forbidden. Yet Ivy smiled brightly when she learned about it and insisted her father deserved happiness too. That afternoon, Rowan approached Damien's office and politely requested permission to leave 2 hours early. He explained that he had completed every assignment ahead of schedule and another employee had agreed to cover the remaining shift. Damien barely looked up from his paperwork before asking why he suddenly needed personal time. Rowan answered honestly. He simply said he had a date. Silence filled the room. Damien stared at him for several seconds before dismissing him without another word. As Rowan walked away, Damien stepped outside, lit a cigarette, and stood alone beneath the clear blue sky. Employees watching through the windows exchanged confused glances. Nobody had ever seen their strict manager react like that. The truth remained hidden. Damien remembered hearing almost identical words from his own wife 15 years earlier. She had begged him to leave work early for their anniversary dinner. He had refused because another meeting seemed more important. That dinner never happened. Months later, she left, believing there would never be room for love inside his carefully organized life. Rowan's request reopened wounds Damien believed had healed long ago. Meanwhile, Rowan rushed home, changed into the nicest shirt he owned, and nervously practiced smiling in the bathroom mirror. Ivy laughed so hard she nearly fell off the couch. She reminded him that dates were not job interviews. Her cheerful encouragement filled the small apartment with warmth it had not known for years. The afternoon sun bathed the town in soft daylight. As Rowan walked toward the neighborhood cafe, every step felt uncertain. Part of him feared betraying the memory of his late wife. Another part feared being rejected after so many lonely years. Eleanor arrived carrying a small bouquet of wildflowers she had picked herself. Instead of awkwardness, their conversation flowed naturally. They spoke about favorite childhood memories, books that had changed their lives, funny moments with Ivy, and the strange ways grief reshaped people. Neither tried to replace the past. They simply shared the present. Across town, Damien remained unable to focus. Numbers blurred together on reports, while memories replayed endlessly inside his mind. For the first time in years, he questioned whether success without companionship truly meant anything. That evening, he drove past the public library by coincidence and saw Rowan, Eleanor, and Ivy laughing together outside after dinner. The little girl held both adults' hands while pointing excitedly toward a fountain sparkling under the afternoon light that slowly faded into evening. It was a simple scene, yet it stirred something forgotten inside him. Over the following weeks, Rowan continued working just as hard as before. Nothing about his dedication changed. If anything, he became even more productive because hope returned to his life. Eleanor never demanded his time. She understood responsibility came first, and she slowly became a trusted friend to Ivy. Their relationship grew naturally through kindness, instead of dramatic promises. Damien watched these changes carefully. One morning, he overheard employees making cruel jokes about Rowan trying to replace his wife. Normally, Damien ignored gossip, but this time he interrupted them. He reminded everyone that courage looked different for every person, and sometimes surviving another day required more strength than lifting heavy machinery. The room fell silent. No one expected those words from him. Weeks later, disaster struck the factory. A mechanical malfunction threatened to destroy thousands of dollars worth of equipment. Workers panicked as smoke rose from one production line. Rowan immediately organized co-workers, safely shut down surrounding machines, and prevented a much larger accident. His calm thinking protected both employees and the company from enormous